Hello, welcome, good morning, good evening. Hi, Cliniko family and friends. It's Rachel here, and I'm going to get you caught up on this week's updates, changes, fixes, and more. Our big change this week is to online booking. We released a new code if you decide to embed online booking into your website that will offer a number of improvements. We also updated what services are shown on the appointments page when assigning a service to a business. Recent invoices now show prices with tax included. Admins will receive email alerts if the MailChimp integration has been disconnected. And we've made some minor changes to the birthday report, treatment note template questions, and embedded online booking maps. As always, let's take a journey together to go over all of these exciting changes in this episode of Cliniko This Week. As I mentioned earlier, our big update this week was to online booking. If you have a website and you've embedded online booking, we have a new embed code that you can use. To obtain the new code, head to Settings, Online Booking, and use the copy code button next to the Code to Embed in Your Website section on the settings page. You'll then replace the old code on your website with the copied code. The new code contains a number of improvements for online booking. The main change is that the height of online booking on your site is now set automatically based on the content of your online bookings page. So there shouldn't be any extra scroll bar showing up if your website is quite long or tall. The code also will auto-scroll your patients to the top of the embedded online booking when advancing to the next step in their booking process. So if your patients reported that they were seeing quite a large empty space on your website when going to the next stage in their booking, not realizing that they had to scroll up, this will solve that problem. Just note, this code may not work if your website builder doesn't allow custom JavaScript. JavaScript is what we're using to make online booking automatically adjust the height and scrolling automatically on the site. Certain website builders, for example, Wix and the free version of WordPress and GoDaddy's website builder, does not allow custom JavaScript. Some website builders, though, will have add-ons or plugins to allow custom JavaScript. So if the new code doesn't seem to be working, the custom JavaScript is most likely why. That said, online booking will still function as it did before if you use the new code and JavaScript isn't supported. So there is no downside in using the new embed code. One final note, if you built a custom online booking URL, the embed code can still be used. Just rebuild the custom URL, and you'll see the embed code will update accordingly, which you'll then be able to copy and place on your website. Another change we made to embedded online booking is Google Maps will now open in a new tab when clicked or selected. That way, your patients are taken away from your site when checking out your location. Next up, we've made two changes related to appointment types. First, if the practitioner's default appointment type is not offered at a specific location, we will not show that default appointment type in the list of services when creating an appointment. Our second change is related to creating or saving changes to an appointment type via settings. If you ran into an issue creating new appointment types or saving changes to an existing appointment type, there was a validation issue behind the scenes related to your business information. When you add a business registration name, you also need to include the business registration number. Before, we allowed you to add a name without a number, but both name and number is now required if those fields are being used. This is required due to how we link appointment types with businesses. So you'll now see an error on your appointment types page if this is causing issues with saving or creating your appointment type. Our next change is related to invoices. When creating or editing invoices and viewing the recent invoices pull-out/section, you'll now see the price with tax included. We'll also now show quantity of items and if there were any discounts applied. Moving on, we've added a change to the MailChimp integration. If you integrate with MailChimp and the integration is disconnected for any reason, the email address listed for the admin via Settings, General Settings, will be notified. This way, the integration can be re-enabled. Our final changes are to treatment note templates and our birthday report. Within treatment note templates, we've changed the question type text to single line text. This is to help in deciding if you want to use a different question type for your needs. For example, if you have a question that requires a bit more text, you'll want to use the paragraph question type versus single line text. Finally, within our upcoming birthdays report, we've now increased the number of patients that are initially loaded on the page. We've increased the list from 25 patients to 50 patients loaded before we have to request to display more. That is it for this week, and I hope you're as big of a fan of these changes as I am. If not, well, I'll be back next week with more changes, updates, fixes, and more in Cliniko. Until next week, bye Cliniko family!